It's the first day. I'm also just starting myself, and I just wanted to share that we just finished the beautiful sound healing meditation online. Yes, and actually I draw this card. It's very beautiful structure, yes. And the word is time, so I thought I wanted to draw a card for us. In the meditations, we are working with sacred geometry as well, and we're also working with different frequencies. So the frequency we had this morning was 732, is the solfeggio frequencies. So I use this both to start the days, but also to canalize any message that we need to share. So yeah, this about time, which I thought is very interesting. And it's actually showing like the different dimensions that we're in at once, and also the kind of the perception of time, that also this time we're living in is kind of speeding up, but also that we are multi-dimensional beings. And I think that's always like, it's a very important thing in my teaching, as I just had a little talk with Henrik about this morning before the other guys entered, that it's, of course, it's about the food, but there's so many aspects of this. So I also want to share about this, the different aspects that I use, because I can see most of you on the call already have some experience in the plant-based food. So I'm not going to go too much into the basics today. I think you're all already kind of aware and have a consciousness about the food, but of course there will be some new beginners or like someone new to this in the seminar who are not watching right now. So but I really like to talk about the different dimensions, because it's actually a very important thing also to just to be able to raise your energy, but also to be able to kind of how do you say, adapt to the food and the frequencies. As you said, Henrik, yeah, you need like to kind of, your body needs to be, even though you're mentally very far, your body kind of needs to be in the same frequency. So yeah, you can think about time. And yes, I just want to say welcome to this 5 days challenge. I'm super excited to have you all here, and hopefully the rest will join us as well, at least not afterwards. I got really inspired to do this because I think this time we are living in is has been very intense, and even I felt the call more to be out, to bring out the message about the food and the frequencies, and also, of course, my main message, how to heal yourself. I think in this time it's so important that you really tune into yourself, you start listening to yourself, and also you get the tools to heal yourself, because it's like we've been in a massive attack mentally these past years, or at least 1 or 2 years. I really feel mentally we've all been very much under pressure, and not only just from the news or the media, but also like spiritually. It's been very intense, and I've been feeling that you really need to kind of enforce or strengthen all aspects of your life in order to stay sane, in order to stay and to be positive, to stay in the light, and yeah, to be able to live a fulfilling and peaceful life. Maybe you're already in that state, but just wanted to share that this really helped me with the different tools I'm going to give you. Yeah, so that I'll be sharing this. And for this today, it's going to be a little bit of intro, a little bit of inspiration. So you can, I hope you feel inspired to go back on track, because I see all of you, or most of you, have been some kind of history with the raw food, not raw food, but the vegan or vegetarian food, but really wants to get into it again. So that's my intention, to make a kick start today. And I'm going to give you a little the challenge actually for these days. So we have Sika coming in as well. Morning, Sika. Maybe she's not there. She's joining. Yes. So in these days, this will be more an inspiration day, a kickstart day to get the challenge, and also to Godmorgen, Sigga. Good morning.
Godmorgen. Det tog tid.
Yeah.
Det virkede ikke.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
Because the
Morning.
net password didn't work. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I'm just talking about the introduction, and also feel free to put your camera on, and also feel free to not have the camera on because it's early morning. So, but I'm just gonna mute you. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes. So I'm just gonna mute all of you. Yes, so this first day will be like inspirational, kickstart the challenge, and I'll be sending an email after that where you have everything in more in the written plan. And tomorrow we're gonna go through the kitchen essentials, what you actually need in your kitchen, and what kind of food items that we're working with. And day number 3 is going to be a specific topic on the iris moss, the sea moss, because I think that's a really important ingredient in the kitchen. So I'm going to give you recipes for the sea moss and about the desserts. And then the 4th phase, we're going to be more all about the raw food cakes, the desserts. I'm going to have a guest on the morning program. So where we're going to talk a little bit more about the emotional and mental part of this when you're transitioning. And the 5th day, I'm going to talk about how to get more energy, boost your mood and pleasure. So there we're going to go into the superfoods. And I'm going to put up the recipes in our group. So every day, and I'll be, and also you feel free to share anything in the group that you like. I love if you have any question, and also it would be really great if you could go and present yourself in the Facebook group, just so people have an idea like who's there, and maybe if you want to share a challenge, it's always when you present yourself, it's more you kind of, will have a little bit more commitment, and also it would be great if you could share your goal. So you kind of take the first step to make a commitment for this change, because I feel you're all ready for this change. So I'm just gonna take a little water here. This is actually alkaline water with lime, which I'm gonna talk about more in a little while. So first I wanted to talk a little bit about the frequencies. The frequencies is our body. I mean, we are all energy, we're all frequencies being, and we are all exposed to frequencies, even, when we are interacting with different people in your home, and it's both physically, it's mentally, and it's so important that we learn how to tune our body to the right frequencies. And one of the tools is, of course, the food. And what I found really inspiring back in, I think 2010, where I kind of started this journey more intense. I went to a lecture with Brian Clement, which is director of the Hippocrates Institute in the States. They have like a raw food treatment retreat. It's not really a retreat, it's more a treatment where they treat with raw food therapy and a lot of other interesting therapies. And he talked about what is the most important in our life, what is the most important in the world, where do we get all our energy from? And of course it's the sun. The sun is so essential, and it's so simple, like we don't even have time to appreciate the sun every day. So that's also why we go into the meditation, to welcome the elements of the earth. I mean, the sun, water, air, these basic elements, and fire, and also the basic elements in our life. And the sun is what gives us most light. And as you know, it's also what gives the food who has the most light, has the highest frequencies. So it's very simple. If you're looking at the photosynthesis that transmit the energy into the body and to the plants. So that's also why it makes so sense to eat the food and plants that has the most light. So that's really like the basic kind of philosophy of the raw food, to eat the food that contains more light and contains the most enzymes, because that means you're more alive. So I'll be talking about, I'll be sharing a lot of raw food recipes. But I do also want to talk about the balancing of the body, and also like depending on where you are in the world, like how you can how to obtain the perfect balance with the raw or vegan or alkaline foods. My recommendations is to balance the body the best possible way, and I want to share some tools with you so you can kind of choose how far you want to go into this. And it's what's really important is actually a choice. It's your choice how you want to feel, and that's really exciting, because you can really learn how to tune your body. You know, if you choose to eat a lot of grains, even though it's healthy, you know, your body will be a certain level, your mood will be a certain level. And of course, if you eat a lot of processed sugar and wheat and refined flour, even, you know, your body will consume more energy. Because what is most important is actually to eat food that brings you energy and not use your energy, because you want to have a body that's vibrant, that's alive, you know, you're happy, you're not happy all the time, but I mean, at least that's this general state of mind that your body needs to be in. And it will only get to this point if you really give it a lot of nutrients, a lot of food that has a lot of nutrients. And I feel it's very important to say that, especially that I'm not your guru, like Tony Robbins also say, but it's like, I'm not your guru, because my intention with this is for you to learn how to listen to yourself, to kind of read your body in every sign. For instance, if you're having like some really dark spots under your eyes and you're really puffy, you know, you're consuming too much salt, or you're losing your hair, or you have a headache every day, or whatever your challenges might be. It's about listening to your bodies and adjusting that. So that's really my main issue with this. And it's also about self-preservation, because when you start to eat this, your body will be more better to preserve yourself, and not using energy from parts of the body where you're starting to get a deficiency. So if your body doesn't have the right nutrients, it will start to take reserves from different parts of the body, and that will kind of bring to the disease or discomfort that you might have. One other aspect I like to kind of mix or balance with the raw food is the alkaline lifestyle. I mean, a lot of people are talking about alkaline lifestyle. They also do recommend meat. I think you need to find a balance of what you're attracted to and what kind of frequency you want to attract, and how. It also depends what kind of state your body is in, because if you're feeling really good and you don't really have any health issues, you can be maybe a little more intuitive. As I talked to Henrik about, you can really feel what you need, but you kind of need to be what do you say? You need to be eating plants for quite a while, I think, to be really tuned into that. So but I mean, you can really feel what you need, but you can also do something more a little bit scientific with the alkaline food. But I really don't recommend, and that's also going to be, of course, the challenge, that you eat animal products. And also it depends, if you really want to clean your body and you want to get rid of whatever you're challenging, I think you need to be very hardcore. You really need to find, you need to follow the diet. You need to follow it very carefully, not, and put up some kind of terms for yourself in order to get a change, because you do need to make a change in order to feel better. But if you're in a good state of mind, maybe you can just be inspired and continue what you're doing. So this morning, I just wanted to show you, because the perfect state of the body is a pH 7.5, the alkaline body. So that's actually what the body is striving to all the time. And I do have these little sticks, the pH sticks. So I don't use those every morning, but it's a good indicator to see where your body is at. And actually this morning is kind of, oh, you can't really see that close, but it's kind of, I can say it's maybe 6.5. So it's a little lower than normally. And it's interesting why it is, because I'm finding myself eating pretty healthy, pretty good. But actually I didn't get so much sleep. So I've been testing the pH for a while. It's been a while since I've been doing it, but I do it kind of on and off, just to give an idea where I'm at. And normally when I don't get enough sleep, my body is more acidic. So even though I can eat very healthy, you know, it doesn't really matter if I don't get enough sleep, I don't get enough rest and peace of mind. So of course, you also have to be aware in order to go into this process and follow my guidelines. You also have to look at your other aspects of your life, how you're living your life in order to get this change. So one thing that's very important, that's water. Water is so simple, and water is something maybe we don't think so much about, but it's actually the most important, since we are mostly 70%, or is it 70% kind of water in our body. And this is water is alkaline water, and I will be talking more about that tomorrow as well. First of all, you have to clean your water in some kind of way. It could be a more advanced way, it could be a more simple way. I mean, you can buy some jars, maybe you're already cleaning your water, because water is energy, water is messages, water is so important to get into your body. Like, see how when you go to Norway or Sweden in a fresh spring, you know, you drink the water from there, you feel so vitalized. I have an alkaline water machine from Shansen, and I can actually adjust the pH of the water. So this has the lime also, so it makes it more alkaline. But I can choose to have water from pH 7 up to 9. And I would say it's like originally invented in Japan for the hospitals, like a therapy, and also for cancer therapy. And you can actually have alkaline up to 10. I think that's too much. So it's been a really interesting journey. I still use it every day. I kind of change the pH to get a little difference, and sometimes I just use clean water with pH 7. But I must say, when I first started with the water, it's like it really cleanses your body on a cellular level. And that's been so interesting, because even though I've been eating like vegan, maybe, you know, let's say 3%, sometimes I could eat some fish and stuff. So, but I've even like 95% vegan for 10 years or 15 years even. I haven't really been able to go so deep in my body. So when I started with this water to clean, it's like it really cleansed my cellular level, like back in time. It was so amazing. So all these old patterns from my family, from my mom, it started to come up. And I didn't really understand, like, I was also in another course about hormones and cleansing, but, you know, with the water, that's really, it made a huge difference. So I'm going to show you tomorrow, like, how it works, because I think it's so important that we include this. So it's like the main part of our day. And also, depending on where you're at in your life, I recommend to do intermediate fasting. It's been after some years, no, it's kind of naturally, you know, I really don't believe in being on a diet. You know, I believe in that you get the tools to balance your life. So, you know, if you're in a course and you're doing a cleanse, it might work for a while, but you know what you really need to have is like to make these new habits for yourself. And the water is one of it. And I will be recommending some breakfast options for you in our meal plan, but I do also recommend that you try to do the intermittent fasting. That means you stop eating at 8 o'clock and you start eating at around 12 o'clock in the morning. So for instance, this morning, I will just be drinking the water. I will be drinking some tea with the herbs because I really love teas and infusion and herbs. And I will also be doing some recommendations, what's good to do in the morning. It's also because, you know, for the body to heal itself, it's so important to give it some rest. It's so important to allow the body, because I mean, first of all, you're very busy during the day. You just, you know, maybe you don't think about it, but you'll be eating all these kinds of things all the time, and you know, your mind and your body do not get the rest. So if you choose to do the intermittent fasting, which I would recommend you to do at least these 5 days, or at least the next 21 days, because I mean, most of you already know about plant-based, but if you want to do a transition, maybe a level a little bit higher, it's going to take you a little while to incorporate these habits, and maybe already you know the importance of drinking water, but at least you need to have your your weight divided by 3. So for instance, you know, maybe I need 1.5 kilo, 2 to maybe you need at least 2 waters of a liter of water every day, right? So of course the water is very important. So yeah, that's kind of my routine to start eating around 12. I've been trying other kind of diets where I was eating a lot more, you know, maybe 6 times a day, and it didn't really fit my body. So of course also it's about your genetics, it's about your body construction, and also the kind of personality you are. But I just feel the difference, and I feel so much better when I give my body some rest and do the fasting. And I feel more light, and I feel more energy. So that's the first step to get more energy is actually to drink sufficient water, clean water, and add lime, also for the alkalinity. And some I'll be recommending some herbs for you to include as well. One other thing, because I was thinking, what's the most important? I mean, I will give you some guidelines on different levels, but I want to say one thing that really changed my life together with the water. Usually I've been taking a lot of supplements, you know, we all need or get recommendation on what to take. And of course in this time, and especially I did have Corona also, and that was really exciting. Because then I really learned, like, wow, these things really worked. So I had Corona for 2 days. I had some fever. My partner was pretty ill, I must say. He had a lot of respiratory, but also maybe psychologically, it was very difficult. But I must say that the water and MMS, that we can talk about later, or maybe in the group if you want to have a link for that, and the CBD, really kind of changed my life. And the CBD, it's going to be like a commercial about CBD, but it's so important because it controls our whole nervous system, our endocannabinoid system. And the endocannabinoid system is so interesting because 3 generations ago, we were used to getting a lot of endocannabinoids from hemp. Hemp, as you know, was banned, but before we had a lot of the animals were eating a lot of hemp. We got it through the animal products, and also it was available at the pharmacies and everywhere. So it was more present in our system. So it was more available. But we kind of lost that. So our endocannabinoid system kind of we kind of lack those nutrients or the endocannabinoids to fill out our systems for able to our body to work optimal. So I've been taking it for a year, and together with the water, it's like everything you take when you take CBD, it's like boost. It's like you get the double effect. So when I started taking the CBD along with the water, I actually don't feel to take a lot of other vitamins, but of course also along with the herbs and the food. And if with all the herb foods, you don't need to take a lot of supplements because you're getting it through the food. But if I have to choose one supplement, that really would be the CBD, which doesn't have any THC, so you don't get high, you just get really relaxed. And actually, I've been some months while I was traveling in Colombia. I just bought the omega oils because I wanted to try out how, you know, my body felt with that. And I think it was good, but, you know, in the long term, I think it's building up my system, but I don't really feel the difference. And I noticed when I came back to Denmark that I was starting to have some body ache. I was starting to feel sore when I was doing yoga, and I was like, oh, I'm already that old. You know, my body is getting sore and my muscles. But actually then I started taking my CBD again, and after 3 days all the pains had just disappeared. So it really has some kind of magic for your body, even though I don't know whatever condition your body might be in, and whatever you're feeling sore, if you have trouble sleeping, you know, you really get a deep, profound sleep. And it also, I mean, it's really good for your kids. There's a lot of kids who has a lot of disorders mentally these days. So if you want to give them a little peace of mind and to strengthen their mental well-being, I can really recommend that. But that was a lot about CBD. But I really want to share what's been changing my life these days, and CBD has been a really great part of it. Yes, so time is also going. Yes, so for the challenge, I've been thinking about how can I inspire you the best way? How can I inspire you the best way these days? And I've set up some challenges for you to, and then you can see maybe you're already living in not having these challenges, but you might not. So I thought, you know, this is going to be like an introduction for everyone that's want to start on the plant-based journey, or for those who wants to be a little more advanced. And let's see how many of the challenges you can reach these days. I'm not expecting you to have a big change on these 5 days, but I'm expecting that you make a commitment and you make a choice and you take action to kind of wanting to make this change, because this is the only way you're going to get there. So you have to commit yourself, and you have to set up a goal, like how far do you want to go? And for these 5 days, hopefully I'll give you some tools to keep going. And also for at least, I recommend that you do this for 21 days in order to feel a change and to change your lifestyle. I do want to mention also that I'll be sending out some inspiration links, and one of my favorite, it's not a guru, but inspirational, is Dr. Sebi. And I don't know if you heard about Dr. Sebi, but he healed himself and a whole lot of people living in Ecuador as an engineer in this decade. And his philosophy is to eat only alkaline foods, so food that is in its original state. So the original state is pH 7.5. So he made a whole lot of research on the basic foods that's pH 5, and also only the food that contains seeds and you're able to plant. So it's all the indigenous foods, it's all the original food. For instance, like, I don't know if you know, carrot is a hybrid of, it's not the original food, and as well as broccoli. So it doesn't actually have the optimal structures and nutrients that we need. So this is what Dr. Sebi is about, and I'm not going to give you a whole lecture on Dr. Sebi now, but you know, he really inspired my life, and I used a lot of his work, also having COVID and other problems like iron deficiency or whatever you might be facing. And I was actually able to heal myself with his recommendations. So I will be sharing raw food recipes, but I will also be sharing the guidelines of Dr. Sebi, because I think it's a very good place to start, and a good place to kind of to try, because I've been trying a lot of, you know, different variations, and, you know, I eat how I feel. But what is most important, that my basics in the kitchen is what I reckon what's included in this kind of lifestyle. So it's actually very easy to keep this lifestyle. You just need to have the ingredients that's recommended and not anything else. And of course you might challenge, or the challenge might be when you're not at home. So that of course you need some more preparation, but I will talk more about that tomorrow. But Dr. Seppi really inspired me. It's like, you know, Brian Clement, the raw food, about what the food contains more as energy. So I will be sharing today a whole list of the recommended food from Dr. Seppi. And it's not especially raw, it's more, you might feel it's very restricted according to what you eat, but you know, I'm also looking forward to see how you're going to take that challenge. And yeah, it's really, you know, when I eat on this diet, I really feel good. I really feel my body in balance. And also if you do have some health issues or disorders or disease, I recommend you, it's a little bit out of focus. Let's try to see if it goes. It's a little bit blurry, yeah. So I do recommend you to follow this diet very strictly. So that's also why I said, you know, I can give you some inspiration on the raw food, some really delicious recipes. But if you do want to work a little bit further or a little bit more, I recommend you to follow Seppi. Also because it's been thousands of people healed themselves from his diet. So I know when I tried that it really works well. This also Seppi includes our ancestral grains and seed. So he also recommends, like for instance, spelt and rye and these sorts of grains. Personally, I don't eat a lot of the grains because I kind of feel it kind of lowers my energy a little bit. So I actually don't eat any, I only eat seeds and mostly not so many grains. But that's also kind of a balance, and you have to see how you feel about that, because it's definitely much more healthy. But of course, if it's only spelt bread that you eat every day, I mean, of course, if you eat a lot of water, it might work. But I really recommend you to include more fruit and vegetables. So the first one in my challenge is to avoid any refined sugar, any refined flour, and of all alcohol. For me, I haven't been drinking in 10 years. It's so exciting. So, you know, when I was at a wedding and just trying a little bit of champagne the next day, I was feeling a little depressed and I couldn't really understand why. And I realized it's because I've been drinking. I know it's tasting some champagne. I don't really think you should be, well, I do recommend you, if you want to feel better, that you exclude alcohol, you know, but it's like overall in the long run, you know, being fanatic, you know, might not help anyone when you're there. I'm just at a state now where it's too acidic. You know, if I take alcohol, I feel it in my body. I feel the acidity and I feel like the effect the day after. So I don't, it's like when you integrate these habits, it's like you don't even think about it. I don't think about the things I'm missing. You know, people say, oh, you might be missing alcohol or sugar, don't you feel like that? I really don't think about it. It's like when I walk into the supermarket, I don't see all these other things. I just see a row with the fresh vegetables and some other good things I want, the whole foods, and I just don't see it. So I don't feel I lack anything. And that's really great to be in this state, because you don't feel that you miss out, you know. So so don't feel pity, don't feel sorry for yourself, because you definitely get to a point where you don't feel sorry. So of course, any processed food, only eat whole foods that's not processed. And by that, I mean, it's not produced. So you kind of make the food yourself from the ground. And of course, no, additives and, you know, the pure foods, the whole foods. And no animal products, I recommend for this time, just to you to try it out. I don't know if you eat animal products, but I recommend you for these 5 or 21 days not to eat any animals products at all, to kind of feel the difference in your body. No eggs, no anything, and no dairy, very important. And also, if you're a smoker, I recommend you to quit smoking. I know it's maybe not so easy, but for those who are smoking, I can really recommend to start taking the CBD, because it's also gonna lower your that wanting to smoke or wanting to any addiction, really, you know, that we have. So that's the first thing. Then I recommend you to do the intermediate fasting. with the water and lime juice every morning. Or you can have, I'm going to put out some smoothies or recipes for smoothie or fresh green juices in the morning. So I think actually this morning step and how you start your morning is so important. And that's also why I really wanted to do it 6 o'clock, because you need to be committed. You need to start doing some habits, and just that having getting up a little bit earlier and giving yourself that time to enter the morning, and giving that time to do a little bit of rituals before entering real life, if you do have a real life, depending what you're doing in your daily life. Yeah. Then I also recommend to do a meditation, 30 minutes. It could be in the morning, I prefer it, but it could also be in the evening. And I will be sending out some links or a playlist for meditation, so you can kind of get into the tunes and relax your mind, calm your mind. Another thing in the morning is to, normally we've been doing some retreats with ice bath. If you heard about Wim Hof, you know, the ice therapy is so great. So if you don't have an ice bath and you don't have a sauna in your house, I'm recommending to do cold showers in the morning. I challenge you to do cold showers in the morning. So you can shift maybe hot and cold water, maybe 5 times. And even you can do a little dry brushing before to waken up your body. That's also a really good method to keep a little bit alive. And also why I share these things along with the food is because when you start to work on every part of your body from the inside and out, you're also wanting to do, to give yourself a little bit more love. You wanted to eat more healthy and not to kind of indulge into your old habits. And it's not like, you know, I just recommend you to do these things, not like it's a must, but it's like, you know, in order to kind of to get the process going and you feel better. And yes, another important thing is, of course, depending on where you live, but you know, we can all go out and get a little bit of light every day. So to have at least 20 minutes of sunlight every day, I recommend, so you can, yeah. And of course, with that goes also 20 minutes of fresh air, or mostly if you can get some light into your eyes, so you can, for instance, you get enough D vitamins for the day and other vitamins. And then I recommend you, which is very important, of course, to do some physical activity, at least 30 minutes a day. And it could be running, dancing, walking, anything that you feel comfortable with. I'll be sharing a playlist with some ecstatic dance movements if you feel to dance at home, or whatever you might be in tune with. But of course, the physical activity is so important, because mentally you're going to be challenged, so you kind of need to get your body going. It could also be go a little bit deeper, go into some breath work, or really stretch your body to do like some more kind of calm exercise, but really like go into your body and along with this, because being in your body is also making you listening more to yourself, what you actually need, so what is good for you, or what is not good for you. So I recommend to be in nature as much as possible, even if you have like a park or whatever, something nature close to you, go there and take some time to yourself, put on the meditation, or just be in peace. Yes, so I've been sending out some small inspirations, some mantras. If you feel to dive into it, if you don't feel to dive in, it's also okay. You can just be inspired by the recipes, and that's also good. Another thing that you also might already be aware of, it's of course the outer, our outer physical world that we need with electrofrequency, but also just on what you put on your body. So I also recommend you not to use any chemicals on your body, like any chemical beauty products, or just maybe just use oil, or don't use too many perfumes, only use essential oils. I will not be going too much into that, but of course, you know, you also, whatever you put on your skin, it's the largest organ that we have, also affect you. So it's very important. Then also it's very important to get some sleep. As I said this morning, I didn't get enough sleep. So, but of course, when you're on this diet, you don't need as much sleep, but at least 7 hours of sleep is good. Then I also recommend you, at least in these 5 days, I know we're here online, but to avoid or to kind of avoid overconsumption of social media, Netflix, whatever you might be attracted to doing in the evenings. Also, again, is for your body to give, to get a little peace of mind and not to be too affected, and more tuning into your body. So rather read a good book, do a meditation instead of just being on your screen, which is quite difficult, but it's so great when you get there. Yes. What else do I have? So actually, it's just about making the commitment and making the choice, and also for you to make the commitment. Also, I think it would be great if you could share that in our group. I don't think Susanna and Sika hear that. So if you please could go into the group and also share a little bit about yourself, so you kind of make a commitment to start a new lifestyle. So it's the first step today, is kind of to make this commitment, and of course to take the action, because even though you say, oh, I can't eat always too much, it's too many restrictions, or if I send out the Seppi diet, it's like, oh, how am I going to get this food? It's actually food you have available, but of course you need to change it. But just, a small change every day, a little step every day, the better, you'll be able to do it, and also if you're going to go full in, it's also really great, and you're going to get a little faster, but if it's too overwhelming, just every day make one more choice, or one of the recommendations I do would be really great. So I think it's about 7 o'clock now, and I will be sharing with you Dr. Seppi's recommendation, be sending you some inspiration video from Dr. Seppi as well. I will be putting out some recipe and writing down the terms of our little challenge, our commitment in these 5 days. And tomorrow morning, I'm really excited. We're going to be in my kitchen. I'm going to share about what I have in my kitchen, actually, and how I recommend you to start this. And also, I'll be sharing about how to use the different machines, what do I need, and how to organize your kitchen and how to organize yourself, so you can do this in an easy way, so you don't get overwhelmed and it's too time consuming. And last, I want to show you something that I use for my food. Is I use these crystals, which are kind of extra layer. So for those of you who's already on this journey, or maybe also if you're not, I'm going to talk about, it's going to be one of the days, or maybe the last day, about the crystals and how I use them for the frequency for the food. For instance, if you have some food that's not organic, you can actually tune them more. You can actually change them with these frequencies to be more high vibrational. And it's really exciting. So it's another way to do food therapy, so to say. So yes, so I'm really excited you're here, and hopefully all the other people that didn't get to join this morning will be able to watch this afterwards, because I think at least we're missing half of the people and a lot more. So, but tomorrow morning it will be the same link, but without a password. So 6 o'clock, and for those of you who wants to join the meditation, they'll be in the live from the Instagram with a microphone, Henrik. So we're trying to, hopefully the sound will be a little bit better. So if you want to get in tune, so 5:30, I will also be drawing a card for the day, for the group there, to kind of set the frequency. And 6 o'clock, we're going to be in my kitchen. And I'm really excited to share with you. I will also share some recipes. It's not, I thought that we should do the food together, but I'm actually decided that it would be more of me showing the recipes, putting them out, and then we can have a dialogue in the group afterwards if you have any questions on how to make the food. So I'm really excited, and I hope that kind of just inspired your day a little bit to get it started in a different way, or in a different mindset, because it's all also about being aware, you know, just having this awareness, just giving this motivation every day, and also be sharing with the others in the group is so important. So we kind of feel this, we can help each other raise a little bit more. So thank you so much for being here this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, and yeah, take care until tomorrow. So I hope to see you, and I hope to see even more people. Okay. So
Thank you.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Yes.
See you in the group.